Namaste, everybody. Welcome to our fifth session of reading Bhawani Sahasranam's Stotam, the beautiful recitation by A.K. Razdanji and the explanation, wonderful explanation by Shekharji. So, Razdanji, if we can start. Last week we had stopped here, Mahanindra, Yoginindra. So, आप यहाँ से शुरू कर सकते हैं.
नारायणी महानेद्रा योगनिद्रा प्रभावती प्रज्ञा पारमिता प्रज्ञा तारा मदमति मधु क्षीरार्ण वसुधाहारः कालिका सिंहवाहना ओंकारा वसुधाकारा चेतना कोपना कृतिः अर्धबिंदुधराधीरा विश्वमाता कलावती पद्मावती सुवस्त्रा च प्रबुद्धा च सरस्वती कुंडासना जगद्धात्री बुद्धमाता जनेश्वरी जिनमाता जनेन्द्रा च शारदा हंसवाहना
राजलक्ष्मी
राजलक्ष्मी वषटकारा सुधाकारा सुधात्मिका राजनीति स्त्री वार्ता दंडनीति क्रियावती सद्भूति स्तारिणी श्रद्धा सद्गति सत्परायणा सिंधूर मंदाकिनी गंगा यमुना च सरस्वती गोदावरी विपाशा च कावेरी च शतहृदा सरयूश्चंद्रभागा च कौशिकी गंडकी शुचिः नर्मदा कर्मनाशा च चर्मन्वतिथ देवेका वित्रवती व्यतस्ता च वरदा नरवाहना सती पतिव्रता साध्वी सुचक्षु कुंडवासिनी.
We can stop here. है ना?
ठीक.
Yes. So Shekhar ji, what do you?
So the next nama is Prajna Paramita.
Narayani Mahan.
Yeah, we completed till Prabhavati. So we have to start with Prajna Paramita.
ठीक.
Prajna Paramita, actually this term is very, very popular in the Buddhist philosophy. For that matter, Nagarjuna, one of the greatest Madhyamika scholars, he has written the Prajna Paramita Sutra Vyakhyan. So this is a very important concept in the Buddhism. That is wherein the Bodhisattva, in order to become Buddha, he has to perfect certain qualities. And one of the last qualities which he has to perfect is called as the Prajna Paramita, in the sense to overcome the limitations of wisdom. So Prajna Paramita is by here, when mother is called as Prajna Paramita, it is she who transcends from the learning to become into experiential wisdom. See, in the Sampradaya, what we say is that we classify the knowledge under three hierarchical schemes. So there is a hierarchy in the knowledge classification or knowledge processing. We have what is called as the practical sciences, which we call as the Chatushashti Kala, the 64 art forms. Then above that, we have the pure sciences, or we call it as the Chaturdasha or Ashtadasha Vidyasthanas. So these represent the pure sciences. And over and above this is the experiential wisdom or the Paravidya. In the Chandogya Upanishad, there is a conversation between Sanat Kumara and Narada, wherein Narada approaches Sanat Kumara, who was a Brahmagyani right from his birth. So he asks him to teach him the science of the wisdom. So Sanat Kumara asks him, what have you learned? Then, being Narada, he narrates the entire list of the literary corpus he has memorized. He says that I have learned Rig Vedo, Atha Yajurvedaha, Samaveda, Atharvanaha, Itihasa, Puranani. So he makes a full list of. And finally, what happens is from there, where it takes is to the wisdom side. So from learning, what results is the wisdom. So that is why the Vidya is called as the Paravidya and the Aparavidya. Aparavidya is everything that deals with the world and whatever happens in the world. And Paravidya is that by which one is able to understand and realize the supreme, that is one's own true nature. So yaya tad aksharam adhigamyate sa para. So Paravidya is that experiential wisdom. So from Vidya, from the Aparavidya, one has to transcend through the Paravidya to recognize one's true self. So this transcendence from the knowledge to experiential wisdom is termed as Prajna Paramita. And this can happen only if her grace is upon us. That is what Sahib Kol Maharaj also says in Devi Nama Vilasa when he says, Sarvajñopi yad dayavrehitaha yanti Shanat Mukata. Without her grace, even a very great scholar in a moment can turn into a dumb person. So it is through her grace only we can find this experiential wisdom, an idea which resonates in so many places in Pratyabhijna Hridaya when Acharya Kshaivaraja calls as Bhagavati Sa Parabhattarika Achideva. So he calls the supreme consciousness, referring to her as Sa Bhagavati Chiti Eva. So that experiential wisdom itself is personified as Supreme Mother. So Prajna Paramita, by whose grace one is able to transcend from knowledge to experiential wisdom. Next comes Prajna. So she is that form of the highest form of knowledge. That is why the word used is Prajna. In the Aitareya Upanishad of the Rig Veda, the Rig Veda's Mahavakya comes. And Rig Veda's Mahavakya is Prajnanam Brahma. The supreme consciousness is nothing but the Brahma. Brahma is whatever is termed as the Parabrahman is nothing but supreme consciousness. And that is Prajna. So Prajna. Next is Tara. Tara comes from the Dhatu Tru Tarane, one who helps us go across. So assuming this world that we experience is an ocean, you can find the gems also in the ocean. You can be lost in the ocean. So that is how our experiences are. In order to cross the ocean, just as we require a boat and a boatman, similarly, we require the Guru, and through his Upadesha, we are able to cross over. So that is why even in Saptashati, we have a very clear reference to her as the boat, one who takes us across, just like a boat is able to take us across the ocean. So Tara, and Tara incidentally is also one of the Dasha Mahavidyas. It comes from the same understanding of her, who through imparting the right wisdom is able to save the sadhaka and take him across this misunderstanding about himself, which is the samsara. The next nama is Madhumati. Madhumati is, in the yogic terminology, it refers to a kind of a siddhi. Normally, we are warned that the siddhis will divert our attention. In the sense, a sadhaka, if he is not properly equipped with the wisdom, he may be lured by these siddhis that he gets in the path of the yoga. And Madhumati is supposed or said to be one of the highest form of siddhi. It is even called as a Madhumati Bhumika. So Madhumati is where he experiences a kind of an flow of nectar, and actual yoga says that a flow of nectar does take place, when there is an yoga of the Kundalini with the Sahasrara. So this Madhumati gives him a false impression of that particular uh, uh, actual real experience of the Shiva Shakti yoga. So Madhumati is a siddhi which one has to overcome, and it is considered to be one of the toughest siddhi to overcome. So, and that also happens because, or that can happen only when he has the supreme grace of one's own Aradhya, that is Bhagavati, and one's own Guru, without which to overcome these kind of distraction in the path of sadhana is very, very difficult. So how does this, how does the Devata or a Guru help us overcome? By reinforcing the wisdom in him. That is how they save. The Devatas do not save us just as how cattle are protected by a cowherd or someone using a stick. In Sanskrit, there is one shloka which demonstrates this fact. It says, "Na devaha rakshanti pashupalavata dandamadaya rakshanti pashupalavata yam tu rakshitum icchanti buddhya samyojayanti." That is, the devatas do not protect us like how a cowherd will protect a herd of cows using a stick and all those things. Yam rakshitam icchanti. If they wish or decide to protect someone, buddhya samyojayanti tam. They give him the right understanding. And it is through this right understanding one is able to overcome whatever obstacles. So it is through her grace that one is able to overcome such distractions. Otherwise, the word Madhumati can also mean one who is full of Madhu or nectar. The next Nama itself is Madhu. Just as the Madhu or the nectar or honey delights, her experience is always full of bliss or full of delight. Therefore, she is Madhu. Also, the secondary implication of the word Madhu is an intoxicant drink. So, just like an intoxicant drink makes us forget the world as we are seeing and also about our own status in the world. Similarly, a person who is having the God consciousness, one who has realized his true potential, he will no longer be interested or he will no longer behave the same way as he was behaving earlier. So, in that case, also, she is Madhu. The next Nama is
Hirarna.
Kshirarna, Kshirarnava Sudhahara.
Hirarna Vasudha. Vasu.
Okay, I think it should be interpreted as Kshirarnava Sudhahara.
Acha,
So
Sudha.
Kshira Arnava, Kshira milk, Arnava ocean, Sudha the nectar, Hara one who removes or one who takes away or carries away. So the allusion is to the story of the Mohini Avatara, wherein during the churning of the Milky Ocean, the Kshira Arnava, the Sudha, Dhanvantari appears with a pot full of nectar, and the Devatas and the Asuras have a struggle, have a tussle on who should be served with the nectar first. While they were fighting, Mahavishnu appears in the form of a Mohini, an enchantress, and distributes the Sudha to the Devatas. So this is the story. Now, what specifically is this particular Nama pointing us to? Because most of these legends have a very deep sense of spiritual messaging. So until we get the spiritual messaging, we will be stuck with treating or understanding the Devatas like how we understand our fellow human beings. So here, this whole legend of the Samudra Manthana is the Sudha represents the divine knowledge which ensures immortality. Immortality not in the sense of retaining this physical body, immortality in the sense of not being born again with the same set of ignorance with which we were born this time. So for that, there is always a tussle between the Devatas and the Asuras. And in many of the Bhashyas, the sense organs, the indriyas, are referred to by the word devatas. And each of the sense organs is assigned to a particular devata itself. For example, the vak as an indriya. The vak as an indriya is Agni. Agnirme vachishritah. This is the Yajurveda mantra. Like this, each and every indriya is assigned or is personified as a particular devata. So which means there is always a struggle between our sense organs, our indriyas, and the asuras. Who are the asuras? Asusu ramante iti asuraha. Asu means sharira. Ramante, those who take pleasure in the sharira. Those who take the sharira to be true and whose sense of enjoyment stops with the pleasures that the physical sharira enjoys. So those factors are called as the asura. So always there is a struggle between the senses in showing what is truly good for us and to satisfy the physical needs of a person. That is why, in spite of having wisdom of what is right and what is wrong, we do tend sometimes to do things which is not right because it is pleasing for ourselves. Because we think that it is giving pleasure to our sharira. Like for example, eating. We know that a particular object or a particular kind of a food is not palatable to me. Yet I am unable to control the desire to eat, and I end up having a medical complication. So this is the struggle between the devas and the asuras. So this interpretation is given by Shankaracharya also. It is given by Sayanacharya also. So this struggle is what is the struggle between devas and the asura. So in this struggle, what happens? Vyapanat Vishnu. Vishnu is Sarva Vyapi. So who is or what is actual Sarva Vyapi? Where what is present everywhere? The Prakasha. That is the pure consciousness or the pure awareness, whom we call as Chitu or Parashiva, is Vishnu because it is present everywhere. So that pure consciousness descends in the form of Mohini. Who is Mohini? One who is able to distract the asuras and ensure that the devas get the right knowledge. So that is the Shastra Jnana. Mohini refers to the Shastra Jnana. Through the Shastra Jnana, we are able to distract ourselves from the mistaken notions which are the asuras, and we are able to arrive at what is actually good or that which is actually going to give us the everlasting peace and bliss, which is the Sudha. So Kshiranava Sudha Hara. One who enchants the devas, that is, one who enchants the distracting thoughts and keeps them away and ensures that we have the nectar of immortality in the form of the supreme wisdom bestowed upon us after a long struggle that we have undergone. Kshirarnava Sudha Hara. Kalika, one who is beyond time. Kala, Kalanat Kala. So, where the calculation starts. So, calculation starts when we start assuming a time and spatio lingo. So, where there is no time, where there is no space, that state is called as the Kalika. So, she is beyond time and space. So, she is, that is why Acharya Abhinav Gupta, he calls as Dwadasha Kali, because they are the 12 states of consciousness or 12 states of cognition, which is beyond the spatio-temporal plane. So Kalika, one who is beyond the time. Simha Vahana, one who has the Simha as her Vahana. Vahana is that which bears Simha, lion. So Simha Vahana. We have already seen the word Simha. It refers to the force by which one has to be jerked out from one's convictions which are not true. So she is the one who does that. Simha Vahana. Omkara, one who is in the form of the Pranava or the Om. Now there are three types of pranava. There is a Vaidika pranava, there is a Shaiva pranava, there is a Shakta pranava. All the three share one common characteristic. They all are 3.5 matra. In Vaidika pranava, we have A, U, Ma, then Nada and Bindu. A, U, Ma, 3 matras, Nada and Bindu are the Ardha matra. So 3.5 matras. The Shaiva pranava, which the text like Swachanda Bhairava Tantra, on which Acharya Kshemaraja wrote his commentary, defines as the Bija mantra Haum. There also we are having the same 3.5 matra. Shakta pranava is green. There also we have the same 3.5 matra. Now, why this 3.5 is important? Because it is this primordial sound, this paranada, which is symbolized as the Kundalini with 3.5 coil. So when the description of the Kundalini is given, she is in the Mooladhara, within the triangle of the Mooladhara, encompassed within that the triangle, and she is coiled in 3.5 coils. So the 3.5 is nothing but these three matras, whether it is Vaidika pranava or Shaiva or the Shakta pranava. It is through the Shabda that the Jnana is attainable, and by which one is able to have the Shiva Shakti. So she is Omkara. Vasudhakara. Vasudha means Bhumi or the earth. Why? Because Vasu means wealth. Vasu asmin dhiyate iti Vasudha. One who holds the wealth within her. All the riches and all the wealth are hidden inside her. So she is Vasudha. Akara, in the form of the Vasudha. So right from the Shiva till the Prithvi, it is all Chetana for us. We do not recognize Jadatva. In principle, there is no Jada. Because if we say there is Jada existing in principle, then it becomes the second category, which is completely against the Paramadvaita Siddhanta, which Acharya Abhinav Gupta and others have propounded. So for us, whether it is Shiva, whether it is Prithvi, it is the same. How it manifests, how we see, is what is different. So Vasudhakara, right from Shiva till the Prithvi, she is one. That is one way of looking at it. Another is, just as the earth holds all the treasures within her, similarly, she holds the treasure of the wisdom and all the other treasures within herself. Therefore, she is Vasudhakara. The next nama is Chetana. Supreme consciousness is Chetana. Kopana Kritihi, one who is in the form of extreme anger. Kopana Akritihi. So, normally the question comes, why is mother personified in her angry or a terrific or a terrible form? That this anger is not out of her emotions like how we have. This anger represents the law that she establishes for the smooth functioning of the world. Because normally, when there is a rule or when there is a strict rule in place, everyone tries to adhere to it out of the fear of that particular rule. If that is not there, then there is anarchy. That is a normal practice that's a normal situation that we come across. So when she is described as Kopana Kritihi, this Kopa is not born out of her emotional anger. It is that nature of hers because of which everyone else is afraid and follow the law. So in the Kenopanishad, it is very clearly, it says that because of whose fear the sun rises, because of whose fear the wind blows. So it means that whose presence is enough to make everything else functional. That is the right interpretation of the word Kopanakriti. The other is punishment is a form of correction. Therefore, Kopana. That may also be taken into consideration because many of the Puranic legends and stories only point to that particular fact where the punishment is also a form of grace. So her punishment comes in the form of, her grace can also come in the form of punishment. So Kopanakriti. The next nama is Ardha Bindu Dhara.
Dara Dira.
Dhira. Okay.
Ardha Bindu Dara Dira.
Ardha Bindu Dhara. That is one nama. Dhira will be, I think, the next nama.
Next nama, chief, correct.
So Ardha Bindu Dhara, one who bears half Bindu. That is the meaning. So what is the meaning of bearing half Bindu? Like I said, when the nada is, or when the sound aspect is considered in the yoga, that is the Tantra yoga or the Agama yoga, till a point where we are able to hear the sound. After that, there is a subtle 9 stages of sound. So a mantra, till the point we are able to hear the sound when it is chanted. After that, for example, when the Panchadashi mantra is given, this may be applicable for the other mantras also. I am just taking Panchadashi as an example. The last letter is Hreem. And in Hreem, the last till that one is able to hear when he pronounces. Then after that, it slowly merges and reaches 9 steps which are above the Agnya. So that last Ma is in Agnya. Above Agnya, we have 9 stages: Nada, Bindu, Kala, Rodhini, Unmana, Shakti, and it ends with Mahabindu. That is the 9th stage. So they are all so subtle. Actually, Bhaskar Raya in his Varivasya Rahasya has given the complete measurement of units of those sound aspects also. They are very, very, very subtle form of sound, which is not audible, which is not articulated sound. It is something which is a subtle form of sound. It is this subtle form of sounds, or the 9 steps, which is personified in as the 9 chakras of the Sri Yantra. So these are the subtle representations of the Nada. So in the physical body, when a Sri Yantra is to be imagined, since the Bhavana has to be done, it happens at 3 levels. The third and the most subtle Sri Yantra is from above the Yagya till the Brahmarandra, consisting of these 9 points. So these 9 points are Ardha Bindu, half the Bindu. That's all is the Kala Pramana, or the measure, time measure. But within that, it encompasses everything. And it is the same Ardha Bindu that we speak of in the Pranava also. Auma, and that Ardha Bindu is these 9 stages. So Ardha Bindu Dhara. Next nama is Dhira. Dhira is one who holds everything, one who binds everything. So this is the dharma, the property of holding the entire universe together. So that is the whole purpose. What is this dhira, or what is this universal principle? The very fact that we understand the drishya, whatever is the object which is perceived, is an extension of the drashta. That is, the grahya is an extension of grahaka. Grahaka is our own self. It can happen at 7 levels. From the highest Sadashiva level till the Sakala, all of us. The Sadhaka, or the Grahaka, and the Grahya, both are mutually affecting each other. So when the Grahya is an extension of Grahaka, when this understanding is made very clear to everyone, we see the world of experience, or world of the objects that we experience, as our own extension. So we cannot have any sense of exploitative nature or exploitative outlook towards the objects. Otherwise, what happens when we see it as different from oneself? We will see the object as something created to fulfill uh, for my pleasure or for my utility. So there will always be an utilitarian value associated with any object. When that happens, what will result is the ecological imbalance. So what we are seeing today is the result of the Western notion of the nature being created to serve the needs of the man. Whereas our system was never that. Even if we have to utilize some of the elements from the nature, let's say, even if we have to cut the tree, I do remember in our villages, if before cutting the tree, they will chant a small prayer and perform worship and then only cut the tree. Why do we do so? Because we recognize that the tree is an extension of life which is there in us. So this principle holds the unity or the harmony in the entire creation. So that harmony is the dharma or the Sanatana dharma that we speak of. And she represents that Sanatana dharma. So she is Dhira. Vishwamata. Vishwamata, the mother of Vishwa, the mother of world. Okay. Matri Shabda, we have already seen, it also means one who measures. So one who measures the world, she is Vishwamata. Measuring means one who decides to what extent the world will become the object of experience. So in the Agamas, we say there is Tanu, Karana, Bhuvana, Bhoga. Ishvara created these four for the sake of the Anu. Because we say, when Svechaya, out of his own free will, he created the world. So there is a purpose that the world serves. We cannot reject the world as Maya, like the Advaitavada of Adi Shankaracharya. No, we don't reject the world as Maya. For us, the world is real. It serves the purpose. It says, Tanu, he created the body. Karana, he created all the Indriyas for interacting with the world. Bhuvana, he created the place, the various places. According to the Shaivagamas, there are 118 Bhuvanas. Malini Vijayotara gives the names of all the 118 Bhuvanas, right from Shiva to the Kalagniruddra Bhuvana, and Bhoga, and the objects of enjoyments. Why does he do so? He does because there is a purpose for this entire creation. He wants us to experience this, and he wants us to realize whom we are in this particular process. So she measures and creates everything from herself and transforming herself. That is the underlying truth behind it. So she is Vishwamata in the sense she is the measure of the world because she becomes the world as much as she wants it to be. There also it is her own free will only, her own Ichha Shakti only. Next word is Kalavati. Now, Kala is the power of contraction, which determines compartmentalization, by which we are able to realize ourselves as small, particular units. That is what is Kala. Something like, let us say, the Mayika Mala, out of the three Malas, the Anava, Mayika, and the Karma Mala, the Mayika Mala concept is what is Kala. So, Kala ensures that we don't see ourselves as one whole true being. We are seeing ourselves as one individual restricted to this body, then the object as restricted to that form and shape that we are seeing, and everything else only in bits and pieces. Okay, so that compartmentalization is what the Kala ensures. So the reversal also has to happen through the very same power. So the reversal happens through the 5 Shiva Kalas, which we call as the Nivritti, Pratishtha, Vidya, Shanta, and Shantyatita. These are the 5 Shiva Kalas. Nivritti. Nivritti is withdrawal. Withdrawal not from the objects, but withdrawal from the opinion or the thought constructs or the vikalpas we have about the objects. Pratishtha, by being established in our understanding that we have gained through the Shastra and Guru Kripa. Vidya, focusing on the right way of seeing things. Shanta leads to the sense of bliss, because now I am no longer in need of anything else to make myself complete and blissful, because that is my true nature. I don't require something from outside to make myself blissful. I am already blissful. Therefore, that is Shanta. And after the shedding of the body, even this limitation is completely gone. So that is the Shantyatita color. So these are the 5 Shiva colors by which we are able to come out of this compartmentalized thinking. So she is that Kalavati. She is the one who has this 16 colors. In another context, there are 2 colors that are referred. One is called as the Amakala and Nirvana Kala. So Amakala is the creative aspect where the compartmentalization is ensured, and Nirvana Kala is the reversal of it, where we are able to shed free of this compartmentalization. Next nama is
Padmavati.
Padmavati. Padmavati, Padma, lotus. So one who possesses lotus, referring to the Sahasra Padma, that is either Kula Sahasra or the Akula Sahasra Padma. So Padmavati. Suvastra, one who is Bedak, one who wears excellent vastra, excellent robes or excellent garment. She is Suvastra.
Suvastra.
Vastra is anything that covers. So the Kanchikas are the Vastra. The 5 Kanchikas are the Vastras which completely hide the Shiva Swarupa and makes it appear as the Pashu or as the Jiva. So that Vastra is the that is why it is also called as the Kanchika, the wheel that covers. So Vastra. Prabuddha, one who is always awake. Though we are also awake when we are in the waking stage. The only difference is, are we seeing things the way we have to see? This is what in Vijnana Bhairava, I think we saw that shloka also. Grahya grahaka samvittihi samanya sarva jantushu yoginam tu visesho ayam sambandhe savadhana. We also see the objects, and yogis also see the objects, or see in the sense experience objects. So grahya grahaka samvitti, so seeing and the seer. This samviti, this process, it is samanya, it is common for all. Then what distinguishes a yogi? Yoginam tu viseshaha ayam sambandhe savadhanata. The yogis are very, very careful in recognizing the sambandha. What is the connection between the grahya and grahaka? That is where we will become completely different from how a yogi sees. He may also see the same object like we are seeing, but the understanding between the two is completely different. Why? Because he is always aware. He is ever vigilant. A yogi is always vigilant. Every second of his cognitive experience, he is vigilant. So he is able to see the right connection between the grahya and the grahaka. So that state of being ever vigilant is the prabuddha avastha, the prabuddha. Saraswati. Saraswati, Saras means water. One who possesses the water is Saraswati, the river. So first primary reference is to the river, and the river refers to the flow of knowledge, the flow of cognitions, which is ever fresh. Therefore, Saraswati is elevated to the status of the goddess of learning, or the goddess of learning is also represented as the river. We will actually be, Tamara had read some of the namas. Many of us would have identified they are the names of the rivers. If I'm right, somewhere on 25 plus rivers are narrated. So what is the special place of rivers being equated as the Devata? There is a special cause. There is a reason why it is done. In across all the cultures, especially our culture. So what is it? We will reserve it when we deal with those specific names. Here, Saraswati is the goddess of Jnana or the learning. Kundasana, one who is seated with what to say, with her legs tightly clasped and folded, referring to that tightly 3.5 coils of the Kundalini. So Kundasana. So one who is in the form of a coiled serpent. Kunda Asana.
Jagaddatri.
Jagadhatri. Dhatri. One who supports Jagat, the world. So she is the support of the world because the world does not exist apart from her. So she is the sole reality. So what we call as world is nothing but her aspect as occurring differently in the world. The classic example that Acharya gives us is the rainbow. What is the difference between the spectrum of colors and the white light? It is the same white light we are able to see as the multiple colors. And where the white light start and where the spectrum of the 7 colors comes, we do not know. There is absolute no difference between the unity and the diversity. Both are one and the same. One does not exist without the other because there is no difference at all. It is just that one manifesting in 2 different ways. So she is Jagat, therefore she is the support of the Jagat Bhati.
Buddha Mata.
Buddha Mata. Buddha. So there are going to be other namas with the word Jina. So Buddha and Jina need not refer to, or even if it refers to the acharyas from the Buddha and the Jaina Darshana, it is fine with us, no problem. Because one of the most significant aspect of the Kashmir Shaivism is that no other system of philosophy is excluded. Very, very specific sutra in Bhaktya Hridayam clearly states out what other darshanas or where the other darshanas stand in relation to the knowledge which is expounded in the Kashmir Shaivism. So there no other system is antagonist to our system. They are the various stages. And in my little experience, no other system other than Kashmir Shaivism has made this statement that all other systems are equally right, but their information is partial. That is, it's a partial explanation. All the other places, there is always a brickbatting as to whose opinion is correct and whose opinion is superior than the others. So there is always this polemics, the vada between the two schools of thought that has been going on ever and ever. But here is the one and only system that I know, which says that you are an Astika, you are okay, you are right. You are a Buddha, you are right. You are a Nayayika, you are right. You are a Sankhya, you are right. But only thing is that your information is not complete. Your information is right up to this point. The other person's information is right up to the next point. So this magnanimity of thought can come only from great masters who really preach what they practice and who practice what they preach. So okay, here Buddha Mata means one who is the mother of the enlightened beings. So Buddha refers to the enlightened being. So she is Buddha Mata, the mother of enlightened beings. Jina Ishwari. Jina is one who has won over his senses. He is Jina. So Ishwari. So she is the one who is worshipped by people who have control, who have perfect control over their Ishwara. So Jitendriya is same as Jina. So all those Jitendriyas worship only her. Jina Mata. Yes, Mata.
Jineshwari, Jinimata.
Jina Mata. Once again, just as Buddha Mata, Jina Mata. She is the mother of all those Jitendriyas, that is, all the ever alert devotees who have complete perfect control over their sense organs. Jina Mata. Jinendra.
Jinendra cha.
Indra Shabda is used normally as the chief or as one who is the best. So when we say Rajendra, one who is the best amongst the kings is Rajendra. Normally that is how the Indra Shabda is used. So Jina Indra, one who is the best amongst all who have perfect control over their
Indriya.
senses. Jinendra. So Indriya Nigraha, one who has had a perfect Indriya Nigraha is Jina. So Jinendra. Next is the Nama Sharada,
Hamsvahana.
Hamsavahana. Sharada, the etymology of the word Sharada is one who is worshipped in the Sharat Kala. Sharat is the autumn.
Autumn.
The one who is worshipped in the autumnal season. She is Sharada. So, Sharat Kale Mahapuja Kriyate Yacha Varshiki. In the Durga Saptashati, we have this nama. So, Bhagavati Durga is worshipped in the Sharat Kala. So when we divide the Navaratras, the Vasanta Navaratra is dedicated to the Brahmavadini or to Lalita Tripura Sundari. Whereas the Sharan Navaratra is dedicated to Durga Parmeshwari. So when we say one who is worshipped in the Sharat Kala, Sharada Bhagavati is the Swarupa of Bhagavati Durga herself. And there are many proofs for that, right from the way her personification is given in the Sharada Mahatmya and all, makes it very, very clear as to what her aspect is. Another meaning of the word Sharada is one who gives or one who bestows the highest boons. One who gives the highest boon. And what can be the highest boon? A highest boon is realization about one's own true nature. Therefore, one who gives is Sharada. And how does she do that? Hamsavahana. By clearly resonating or by clearly identifying the unity of the supreme and individual. The supreme and individual unity is contemplated by one supreme mantra. This mantra is has been spoken in very, very high terms in all the agamas. It is called as a Hamsa mantra. Hamsa is nothing but a shortened form of saying Aham Saha. I am that. That referring to the supreme state of knowledge and consciousness. So I referring to the mistaken notion of me as this limited person within this particular body. In spite of the fact that I identify myself as with a particular body, I am in nature, but that supreme state of consciousness. This is Hamsa. Now, why is she equated as Hamsa Vahana, as one who is riding on Hamsa? Because in one of the highest kind of sadhana is called as an ajapa, where the japa, there is no mantra in this process. That is why it is a japa. There is no mantra used for this particular japa. This is nothing but bhavana. And bhavana is done of aham saha. So even in Vijnana Bhairava, we have one of the dharanas of the Hamsa dharana. So where constantly he, with every breath, so there are totally 21,600 breaths that a person takes in one day, that is in 24 hours. So this 21,600 times, this Hamsa Bhavana is done by him. So that state of highest awakened being is Hamsa. She rides, in the sense, she is that consciousness which flows through each of these contemplative exercises. So we had seen that word Prabuddha. So whether we are awake, whether we are asleep, this unity of ourself is never lost. Therefore, he is Prabuddha or she is represented as Hamsavahan. So Hamsa is that contemplation that happens always. Hamsavahana. Rajya Lakshmi. So all the namas, at least 3 or 4 namas from here, will refer to the various elements connected with statesmanship and administration. So Rajya Lakshmi. For the welfare of the society as a whole, the kingdom had to be taken care of. So she is that prosperity in the form of the material wealth and the human resource that existed in the kingdom. So she is Rajya Lakshmi. See, our understanding of the Rajya or our understanding of the word Artha itself was very, very clear. Acharya Kautilya, when he opens the Artha Shastra, he first defines what he means as Artha. Because normally when we say Artha Shastra, okay, economics, Artha means wealth. We have to have a clear idea what is the meaning of Artha in Artha Shastra. He says Prajavati Bhumihi Arthaha. Prajavati Bhumihi means in this Shastra, wealth consists of human resource and the natural resources and effective utilization of both. So Prajavati Bhumihi. Bhumi, the natural resource, along with Praja, the human resource. Both put together is only Artha. Not mere wealth. Wealth and human resource, both put together. So this enrichment of man and material wealth is Rajya Lakshmi. Then Vashatkara. Vashatkara, there are 6 sounds or shabdas which are used in the Veda. Namaha, Swasti, Swaha, Vashat, and Vaushat, and Shraushat. These are the 6 sounds see, when we say sound, that no proper meaning can be given to them, even though in the Shrauta Artha is there. But Vashat is normally used as loosening of bonds. So man who is bound by the 3 malas, that loosening of the 3 malas happens with the contemplation of Vashat. And for that only, when doing the mantra sadhana, we have this Vashat in our Shikha. So we say Shikhaye Vashat. So the loosening of, so Shikha is what? Tying the thoughts together. So that is what is called knotting the hair is Shikha, right? So Vashat is untying. Okay, untying not the hair, untying the bondages. So Vashat is one who loosens the bondages, one who looses the ties. So Vashatkara. Sudhakara, one who is in the form of Sudha. Sudha we have seen, nectar is Sudha. Sudhatmika also means the same. The only thing is she is the nectar. So Sudhakara. Sudhatmika, she bestows the nectar by assuming that form and flowing in the Sharira of the body, Sharira of the Sadhaka. So it is said that a realized soul, all his 70 crore nadis will be flowing with the nectar. That Sudha Varsha will take place. So Sudhatmika. Yeah, these are the 3 names. Rajaniti, Trayi, Varta. Rajaniti, signs of polity. So the Niti, Niti is the ethics and the morals by which the king has to rule. So Arthashastrakara, there is Kautilya says that Trayi, Varta, Danda Niti, Anvichiki. These are the 4 essential knowledge base which every administrator should have. Trayi is the knowledge of the Vedas. That is Rig, Yajur, Sama. Atharva Veda is assumed to be in a part of the 3 because there was a system of unknowing, or understanding the Atharva Veda as a separate entity. So keeping the discussions apart. So Trayi means Rig, Yajur, and Sama. That is the Vedic wisdom. So Trayi, he has to have that. Varta referred to all the commerce and commerce related transactions. So Varta is business. So Varta, one who abides in the Varta. Dandaniti. Dandaniti is ensuring that all the laws are abided by everyone. How? By ensuring the transgressors with punishment. So that is Dandaniti. So Trayi Varta Dandaniti. And how to apply this? By using Anvikshiki. Anvikshiki is a system of logic by which we understand the three, by which we understand Trayi, we understand Varta, and we understand Dandaniti. So all these put together gives us an effective system of administration. Now, coming to why Devi is named as these is because to hold the society together, these three were absolutely essential. So her aspect as Trayi ensured the wisdom, her aspect as Varta ensured prosperity, her aspect of Dandaniti ensured security. Without the three, a kingdom cannot prosper. The Rajya will not be Subhiksha. So she is represented as Trayi, Varta, and Dandaniti. We find this in Saptashati also. The same personification of mother as Trayi, Varta, and Dandaniti. Kriyavati. So she is the soul of all activity. So she is the Kriya. So in our system, Supreme is not Nishkriya. He is not inert. He is ever active, ever pulsating. That is why the concept of Spanda itself comes. Spanda is vibration. When it is vibrating, it means it is not inactive. It is ever active. So that Kriya is one of the Panchashaktis of Shiva. So Kriyavati. Bharat, shall we stop? It is almost 8.
Yes, Ji. I think we can stop here.
Okay, we can stop.
Priyavati, I'll take a note here.
Priyavati, I have noted.
Yes. Page number 9.
Page number 9, line number 2.
2. Yes. Okay, Ji. Thank you, Shekhar Ji. Thank you, Razdan Ji.
Thank
Thank you,
you,
everybody.
Namaskar. Ji. Namaskar.
Namaskar.